Hello. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, I welcome you, and for those of you who are joining me again, I say welcome back. I am Jerry Michael Grimes, and I will be reading a few excerpts from my work, Anthem, a brief and impractical guide to girls, guns, God, grace, and other guttural matters. Today I'm going to be reading an excerpt concerning some of my political views and how they have developed and evolved, especially since my congressional run. I know there have been quite a few questions in terms of where my political alliances lie, and certainly this is not a format or a venue in which I'm really trying to sell my book. I do detail my development, which I have to admit is a bit more complicated and a bit more nuanced than what most people are used to, and our political climate in which we engage in polemical debates and sort of contravening perspectives, left, right, and trying to oversimplify political matters and positions. So what I'm going to do is simply read a little bit to you, and I look forward to your responses, and I thank you for tuning in. I have met some wonderful members of this modern GOP. Some of these women and men were self-described conservatives, amongst disaffected Democrats, angry independents, and the racist vestiges of the Bull Connor era. Some of these Republicans were down-to-earth people trying to breathe amidst the self-immolation required of the maniacal fringe. I tried to navigate this unnavigatable shitstorm to little avail. If a Republican candidate is not a blathering idiot at the outset of a Republican primary, after a few doses of conservative interest groups, anti-tax pledges, gun lobby backroom meetings, right-wing punditry, and public attempts to out-Christian, out-gun, out-redneck, out-gay bash, out-nigger, out-degrade, and out-stupid the opposition, what remains is an embattled candidate who makes Elmo look like Einstein. This is not tough love, but necessary roughness for a rogues gallery that need be reduced to the pages of the most awful histories, like the Salem witch trials and the reign of Mary Tudor. Any thinking Republican, enduring even the aroma of conservatism, should be eligible for sainthood. This once beautifully conducted symphony between moderates of varying degrees, divinely orchestrated by Lincoln, Eisenhower, and even Reagan, has devolved into a cacophony of competing stupidities, fueled by corporatists with no actual stake in the affairs of the working poor. I own my failure to draw greater attention to the crippling 21st century depression endured by citizens in the rural South. I lay equal blame on both inept parties, but I have incredibly low expectations for the party of Stephen A. Douglas, regardless of what credit LBJ is given. No one can question the greatness of FDR, the significance of JFK, or the historical gravity of the Obama presidency, but such greatness, significance, and historical gravity is the actual legacy of 19th century republicanism. Hate is a strong word, but too weak a word to express my loathing as I sincerely and deeply hate this modern so-called Republican Party. If not for my admiration for the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta, my hatred of this so-called GOP might very well extend to a hatred of elephants, which pains me as I am an animal lover. Like Iago hated the Moor, I hate this party. I pray that the reader grant me a leave of my senses and allow me a moment of long overdue mean-spiritedness for what I must express now. I truly wish to be far more gladiatorial than editorial at this juncture. As far as C words go, conservative should be synonymous with cancer. This modern Republican Party is not infested with a cancerous growth. It is itself a cancer which ravages the liver of this great nation. No political oncology can effectively treat the portions of the American electorate overtaken with the vitriol and anti-intellectualism that characterizes the remains of the Lincolnian legacy. No constitutional chemotherapy can prevent the metastasis of residual Southern resentment over the fallen Confederacy and the supposed disenfranchisement of a white power structure that had rather decimate the entire population of the world than face a future in which normative values are ultimately defined by anyone except the West, globalization notwithstanding. This, and I place in quotation marks, this Republican Party should and must burn in hell. And let me elaborate on hell, as I am not referring to a mythic metaphysical location whose existence is characterized by religious tradition and affirmations of faith. I am referring to hell in the truest sense of a geographical location of torment, as in Gehenna. This so-called Republican Party, this malicious gang of posers, should burn in the very Gehennas it was founded to destroy. Thank you for tuning in for this excerpt. I will pick up here later. And again, if you are joining me for the first time, welcome. And if this is your first time or last time, I say thank you. Bye-bye.